Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third Fur Talk podcast. I am Blake Foxx.
I'm Ralleign Siston.
And I'm Mizu Kurai.
Alright, so let's talk about some stuff and some things.
Not some things.
We're off to a fantastic start, I believe.
Oh boy.
So, you have been playing Uncharted all freaking day, so why don't you talk about that game really quick?
Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. That was the newest Uncharted game to be released. Honestly, I've said this before to you guys. Like it feels like an expansion pack on Uncharted 4, like to bring you back to the 90s or something. But yeah, it plays with the exact same engine as Uncharted 4. You play as a character who has pretty much all the exact same abilities as Nathan Drake through Uncharted 4, except like you also get like this lockpicking minigame. And yeah, it's even like about half the length of Uncharted 4. So it's still really good for like the time that you play. Like the Uncharted 4 gameplay, like pretty solid. This game, pretty solid gameplay, I'd say overall. Combat itself is actually, I'd say, a little bit harder than Uncharted 4, though stealthing it is like way easier now because like there's now this silenced pistol weapon which gives you like a silent kill from a distance, and even if you like shoot someone from a distance with the silenced pistol, when they're standing in like a crowd of 5 people, no one will notice like you shot them. They'll just notice that suddenly there's a dead body here.
That's funny. And here I was getting ready to make a Solid Snake comment because now you have a silenced pistol to stealth kill with, but
Like your silent
apparently the characters in Metal Gear are still a little bit smarter with that than...
Yeah. I think it's probably because like I think it's because like they figured like because in the original Uncharted 4 there is no silenced weapons. You either kill someone from a distance with an unsilenced weapon and instantly initiate combat, or you run up to them and melee them, which everyone's going to see.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I imagine like the stealth system was not like designed with stealth kills from a distance in mind.
Yeah, probably. That actually makes a lot of sense. How has Infinite Warfare been, or have you gotten a chance to actually try that one yet?
I have not tried it yet, and I don't anticipate much from it.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, we just got it free with the rentals.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect too much from it either. Most of the Call of Duty games are borderline the same game, so it'll have some kind of zombie mode, and then the story will be and it'll be mostly focused on multiplayer, probably, would be my guess.
Yeah.
That's usually how those games are anymore.
Like I've said before, like what I anticipate from the story is that it's going to be like, you know, just a slog of just like going from one scripted set piece to the next. Maybe like some like legit interesting gameplay moments that'll last like 2 minutes, and then you're immediately back to just slogging through long drawn out gunfights of point and click adventure type or cutscenes where you follow people.
Sounds exciting. Oh man, I am like way tired today for no apparent reason. Like I slept plenty. Like I got a pretty decent amount of sleep already so far. So I'm not really sure why I'm tired. But whatever. The show must go on, as they say. So, how is like the Yu-Gi-Oh thing coming along, by the way?
So far so good. I've hit a bit of a wall with like the cutscenes, like the visual novel-esque cutscenes, if only because like that's going to be it's going to be a tedious process of screenshots, image making, and then like timing out the images so I can match the lip movements. I have no idea how Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series was made, if it was made this way or if it was made like using some other way easier technique, but this is what I'm going to go with. Pretty much, yeah.
Why don't you like look up online how to like do the lip motions for abridging? I'm sure there's like instructional videos on it somewhere.
Yeah, I might try that if this gets too tedious.
I mean, that's just an option. I still think I want to take, I don't know, I want to screw around with like an actual like idea, like a little project just for fun this week whenever I'm off. I'm just not fully sure what I want to do yet. I just have kind of like a rough idea. I hope you guys get something with Legacy of the Duelist done this week. That'd be pretty cool. Even if you just get like the first episode up or something.
I think if you're going to be adding those images to Legacy of the Duelist, though, you should be really careful because copyright and whatnot.
Copyright and all that.
Well, that's what ninja headbands are for.
Yeah.
I don't think you can put ninja headbands on them and it still work
Ooh,
like that.
I see that audio spike from where I moved the mic around. Hopefully that's not going to be a huge issue.
You know it
Good
is.
job.
You know it is.
Well,
It is
I was moving it
Brother
closer
one.
to him because it's like when you looked at the waveforms over here, it looked like really tiny.
Super quiet.
Well, that's 'cause
Also,
music-
son of a
that's 'cause music's
bitch.
not loud.
I'm not.
Yeah, that's why I was moving the mic closer. We forgot to turn that off, so hopefully there's not too much humming in the back.
There should be all of the humming.
Oh well, it's only like towards the beginning, and I think most of the like running all the audio fix stuff will probably take care of a lot of it. And even if not, it's not going to be a huge deal. I don't think it's going to be super distracting.
We be humming 24/7.
Plus, I can probably try to figure out how the noise reduction thing works if it's too bad, and figure out how to like get the sound of the air conditioner out for the first like few minutes there.
Ripperoni and pepperoni. You two are like drained.
Yeah, I know. I'm not full of energy this time, which making this a little harder. I'm trying to think because there's something I was gonna bring up, but now I can't think of what it is because my brain's like stopped.
The brain did a brain.
Oh yeah, we're doing inventory at work right now, which is annoying.
Well, it sounds a lot more fun than what's going on at my job.
What's going on at your job?
Everyone has quit.
Yeah, I noticed that literally everyone is a different person now, and I was like, what in the world?
Yep.
There's like only you and one other person left, it looked like.
The only people that have worked there since has worked there has been me, and that's all of them.
Oh boy.
Yep.
I can't wait to bleep all of those names out so that they don't appear on here.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's first names only.
Yeah, it's true, but I'm still gonna... We'll put in, like, goofy sound effects. And by we, I mean I'll put in goofy sound effects
I also
to
hear
replace
that.
their names.
I also
Or
hear
Steve.
that.
Or
is-
Steve.
I also hear that is getting the surgery done.
Oh, cool. Will Smith is getting some surgery done. Some juicy gossip you're hearing firsthand.
What?
Me being stupid, and you should come to expect this by this point.
Yeah, but you called him Smith, and I didn't call him Smith.
Yeah, you said
I'm Steve.
and I said
I'm Steve.
Smith, the joke being that it's no longer the
I'm Steve.
that you're talking about, it's
I'm Steve.
Smith.
Oh.
Never mind. It clearly went over your head.
It did.
I have no clue why you two are talking about Steve Smith.
Yeah, who is Steve Smith anyways?
Also, I don't know what happened.
Stop saying names. I'm gonna have to like goofy edit out all of them.
Nope, that's the point. I want to hear all the wacky noises. You have to put it now. I'm going to just name people off that I've worked with now. And that way you have to put in goofy noises.
Oh boy.
Josh and Josh.
Josh and Josh, that sounds like a spin-off to Drake and Josh.
Also Josh. We've had like 3 Joshes work there.
They're all played by Josh Peck.
Yeah, it's Josh and Josh and Josh.
There's been at least
The
3
newest
Joshes that have worked
Disney
there.
That's
sitcom or Nickelodeon
It's Josh-
sitcom or whatever it
it's
is.
Josh and Josh, the story about Josh Peck and his brother and his half brother Josh Peck, who have to live in this like who have to live together after like coming from 2 different families.
After the apocalypse.
But then they're also dogged by their half sister Josh Peck.
Okay, so we're gonna leave Josh and Josh in now for
Oh,
that
God.
segment.
Josh, and Josh.
Yeah. So for everyone else, though, we're replacing names with funny voices and noises.
Oh, God.
Just whatever happens to come up at the time whenever I'm editing.
Oh, God.
So how was Yokai Watch?
Ew, gross.
What? Did you actually watch that shit?
I did.
What was? Isn't that the one that
pity
you?
you, man.
Oh no, you guys were watching Buddy Fight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Future Card Buddy Fight.
That's
Yeah,
the
that
one. I
was-
thought I'm getting them mixed up apparently, because I can't keep track of all these ridiculous shows.
He can't keep track of all my ridiculous card game animes.
Yeah, so we were watching Future
Like
Card Buddy Fight.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh 2, Yu-Gi-Oh 3.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! The Reckoning. Yu-Gi-Oh! Return of the Revenge.
Or Yu-Gi-Oh 6.
They
or
need
Card
to
Fight
make.
Vanguard, Revenge of the Kaiba.
Yeah, they need to make a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Series and make it about Kaiba's life after the events of Yu-Gi-Oh! And then like change it from Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's just called Kaiba.
Oh, God.
Well, we already know what Kaiba's life after Yu-Gi-Oh was like. He propelled himself into the earth so hard it killed him and sent him to the
No,
afterlife
that's the
to be a
manga
little girl.
version. According to Mizu, that's the manga version. That's the manga version. So we just can retcon that and say this is the anime version. And we'll have Kaiba, the series about Kaiba's life post Yugi.
Well, let's face it, he becomes a crying bitch of a brat and chases after the only living Yugi in an attempt to try to be number one the game of Yu-Gi-Oh again.
No, the whole plot of the series should just be him trying to get to the point he's at in the movie. He's just at like the first half he's trying to get Yugi into our world again, and then the second half he's like trying to get to Yugi instead. Because it'd be much more fun seeing Kaiba have to deal with like supernatural bullshit than it ever was with any of like the actual Yu-Gi-Oh characters.
Well, yeah, the only reason it would be funny, though, is because Kaiba would just write it off as some natural cause.
Screw the rules, I have money.
Oh, God, a ghost knocked my book off the bookshelf. I must not put it on there and gravity attacked it.
I just think it'd be funny because like I'm imagining scenarios like that one part whenever he gets attacked by the cube guy and like that shit like obliterates everyone else from existence, but Kaiba's like, I have too much money to disappear. Activate my technology that stops your magic. It doesn't even explain how it works, which is like usually a staple of animes, is they have to like explain everything even if it doesn't need explaining.
Well, clearly what it is
Like
it's like shadow game magic,
Hold on.
and Kaiba's like,
Hold on,
you
it's
can't
like-
just send me straight to the shadow realm,
like
we have
with-
to duel.
Like with anime, somebody could take a bucket of water, throw it on fire to put out a fire, and the anime would have to spend 20 minutes explaining why water put out fire. Like, they'd be like, oh, he used water on that fire. Water always puts out fires, unless they're oil fires, and this is not an oil fire.
I also
What
don't
clever
think,
thinking!
I also
How did he
don't
develop the strategy?
I also don't think that it puts out electric fires either.
That's true. But I'm just saying, like, that's like such a staple of anime is over-explaining things that don't need explaining.
Well, like, I think another good example of this is like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where like at one point they introduce like the villain of the day, like the villain of the episode.
The villain of the day.
By first having the narrator explain like the entire like culture of like the different races of Egypt, of like native-born Egyptians, and then immediately ending that off with, but none of that's actually relevant right now. Here's your villain.
Oh, God. Here's your villain of the day, Dracula. He wants to put out the sun.
Dracula wants to put out the sun. What is he, Mr. Burns now?
I call this enemy the sun.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
What, he's Dracula. He can't walk out in the sunlight.
Yeah. The anime would have to spend like 60 minutes explaining like that vampires can't go out in the sun. I don't know
It's
why
their
that is.
only weakness.
like sometimes it's really interesting whenever they're being creative about like what needs explaining, but a lot of the times they're like explaining some really basic stuff and you're just like, really guys, did we need to know that you shouldn't stick a fork in the electric socket? Did you need to explain that to us? We could have figured out that was a bad strategy from the start.
Oh well. Ripperoni and pepperoni.
Is that gonna be your catchphrase now? Ripperoni,
Yes.
pepperoni?
Yes. Only because it rhymes.
I guess it's better than never forgetty. Have some spaghetti.
I mean, it's better than that Elf on a Shelf meme that's going around.
Hey man, I made 2 of those Elf on the Shelf memes because I could, but somebody beat me. I had Snake on a cake, and somebody else put Paws on Cause.
What?
It's 2 different characters from Metal Gear. One's named Paws and the other's named Cause, and somebody put Paws on Cause.
Oh god.
Although they should have given him Paws now that I'm thinking about it. So it would have been Paws on Cause with Paws.
Oh god.
Pause on cause with Paws playing Just Cause.
With claws. He's got, the paws have claws. Well, he's dressed like Santa Claus.
Oh god.
And the game he's playing is Joss.
Oh god.
He's playing Just Cause to fight Jaws.
There we go. We gotta add in. We'll work it all in somehow. Like that one I saw the other day with Linguini and a Lamborghini and
Here in my garage.
Genie in a bikini and something else. I don't even remember it all.
Is that like Snake does a bake for cake?
Oh man. So how is Furry Snake doing in your game?
Haven't played it all that much recently, but yeah, he's proving very helpful. I do enjoy like the automatic marking of targets.
Yeah. I don't know, like, narrative-wise it makes more sense that they called him D-Dog, but like I would have totally named him Furry Snake. Because he's Snake just as a dog. He's even got an eye patch.
Oh god.
He's got an eye patch and a stealth suit.
Furry Snake is the son of Snake.
As long as he's not the son of Liberty.
Who?
Who?
Yeah, who?
I don't even think that's actually a person. I think that's an organization, isn't it?
Yeah, the Sons of Liberty is an organization.
It's been a really long time since I've actually played 2, so I don't remember the specifics.
Well, I haven't played your Scaly Reptilians game.
There's not even scaly reptilians in Metal Gear. Surprisingly. Because it would be totally believable if there were scaly reptilians in a Metal Gear game. Like, I would just be like, yeah.
Oh, I was
Seems
making a
legit.
reference to the fact that the main character is always Snake.
Oh, yeah, there's Snake is always the name of the character.
Scaly Reptilian game.
You know what I like about the games? Is that even though there's like people with like crazy bullshit superpowers, in the end it always comes down to a normal person without superpowers versus another normal person without superpowers.
Fair point.
Peace Walker.
What? At the end of Peace Walker, it's just Paws in a Metal Gear. She's still a normal person.
In a Metal Gear.
Yeah, but she doesn't have a bullshit superpower.
And that's even if you, like, actually take that ending. Like,
Yeah.
that's even if you, like, somehow had the patience to go through all those goddamn doorknob missions to get to that ending.
Well, I think his point was that no one at the end of the game ever has, like, pyromancy or something.
Yeah, they don't ever have superpowers. Like,
Actually, every boss in that game was a giant mech.
Well, I think that still falls under the fact that none of the bosses were some kind of superpowered human.
No, they were all just superpowered AIs.
Yeah, normally all the bosses leading up to the final one will have like weird powers or like just over the top weaponry, and then you'll get to the final boss and it'll just be like a person. Like
Basically,
in
Metal Gear Solid is anime.
Yeah, in like Metal Gear Solid, you fight like Psycho Mantis and Vulcan Raven and Sniper Wolf, and then you get to the end of the game and you have a fist fight with your brother on top of a mech.
I mean, hell, it's even kind kind of like Rurouni Kenshin in a way. Like Rurouni Kenshin, like Kenshin's like going through all these different people with like different power, like actual like psychic powers or some shit. And then like he gets to the end and it's just some guy who is so tough that not even burning him alive and shooting him like 50 times was enough to kill him.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a superpower. Although I love his weapon. His weapon is really cool, but...
The reverse blade?
No, not Kenshin's weapon.
Steve Blum's weapon.
God, I'm trying to think of his name now. Why can't I think of the name of the mummy guy? It's going to come to me later. I'm going to be really annoyed. But his weapon is like this sword that has like serrated edges on it. And every time he kills people, it like traps in all the human fat that from when he slices people up, and then
he
like,
one that he sets on fire.
Yeah, then he like uses that to light the blade on fire, and it's fucking sweet. Also, the reason he dies is because he won't fucking stop even when he should stop, and like he overheats. He literally overheats. He's like an overclocked computer.
Oh god. Yeah, I remember. I watched that with y'all. Remember?
And even then, like. Well, okay.
No spoilers.
I guess we were spoiling the shit out of like 100 things. Yeah, we've already spoiled a bunch of things.
Well, then again, if you've even watched like just one like traditional story, you already know exactly how like Rurouni Kenshin's gonna go.
Man, Rurouni Kenshin is like a really good series, though. The only thing is it kept going way longer than it should have, and they never like reintroduced elements from the original like plot. So like it just kind of meanders for like 100 episodes after Mummy Guy, whose name I still can't remember right now. I just remember it starts with an M.
That's probably one of the big issues with the second season of 5Ds.
But yeah, like it never like picks back up. Like I was figuring the Wolf of Mibu guy would eventually like have a plot because it seemed like he was up to something at the end of that one series, or season.
He never came back.
But it never came back to that. Yeah, it just kind of meandered aimlessly from that point forward and then stopped.
Yeah, I imagine it probably only seemed like that, though, because it's English dubbed.
Yeah, I guess maybe in the Japanese version, like, the show carries on longer. Like that's how it is with Detective Conan. Like, in Detective Conan, it only gets to, like, 150 or something episodes in English, but if you watch it subbed, there's like 300 or 400 or 500 episodes or something. Because they stopped making English episodes for some reason, which sucks because in the Japanese sub, I know they've actually gotten to the plot of the series, but after 150 episodes in English, they never like ever really got to the plot of the series. Because the show's not really focused on its overall plot. It's more of like a case of the week type show.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with, although I did wish that they would have done more with the main plot. But you have to watch like the Japanese version for that. Oh well. That show was really popular in Japan, but it only did okay in the United States for some reason. I'm not really sure why that is. I really liked it.
And, well, not everyone's like you either, so...
That's true, but, I mean, you know... Apparently I have more in common with Japan then, because I also agreed that it was really good. What you doing over there?
Yeah, just reading on stuff.
What you reading about?
The game I just played.
The game you just played? Which one? Infinite Warfare or Uncharted?
Uncharted.
Which
Warfare when I haven't even played it?
Which TV tropes is Uncharted guilty of?
I could list it off, but then like that would be the entire episode.
Well, just
I believe the real question is there any drinking games that go with it?
Ooh,
Is there a
drinking games.
game? Well, let's see. Nope.
Not yet. It hasn't been out long enough, probably.
There is an overall Uncharted drinking game, though.
Whereas I do remember the one time you said the TV tropes Yu-Gi-Oh! There was a drinking game for it.
Yes, there is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Drinking game.
I mean, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course there's a drinking game to go with Yu-Gi-Oh!
I just thought it was hilarious that there was a drinking game for Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, there's a drinking game for the anime and the card game. Take your pick.
Both. They both sound very interesting to me.
Drinking time is any time, Kaiba.
Am I going to have to add points to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged reference counter outside of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's Play?
Yes.
Apparently so. I'm gonna end up.
Blake is going to outpoint.
I'm going to win.
And I already have like 100 points.
I'm going to win, and I'm not even playing the game.
No, you're going to lose. This is like golf. You win by having the lowest score.
Oh, well, then I'm going to lose without playing the game.
I mean, I abridged the shit out of the 5 hours we played of Legacy of the Duelist.
It's not my fault that it's fun to make fun of Yu-Gi-Oh!
No, it's easy to make fun of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just that you're making fun of Yu-Gi-Oh! By using jokes that someone else has already made. And deliberately using the ones that someone else has already made.
Well, all
like
humor
we are
is referential, my dude.
I mean, it's not
Are
like
you
we're
quite
claiming
sure
that
about
we've
that?
made those jokes.
Yes, humor, like all stuff, like we all reference other things, like
I don't think
even
all
the
humor
Yu-Gi-Oh!
is
Abridgers
referential.
are referencing the show itself whenever they make the humor that they make.
A guy walks into a bar and says, ouch. What did I reference there?
A guy walking to a bar.
Anti-jokes. Also, you're referencing the setup of like 100 million jokes from all the ages.
A guy walked into a bar.
I got walked into a bar. Ouch. But no, for real, like blatantly ripping somebody's like material off, you shouldn't do. But like referencing something, especially like in a setting like this where we're just kind of talking about stuff, I think it's fine.
I mean, it's clearly not that us being like, "Huh, we made that joke.
Yeah.
Stole it from us."
We're not
What a
like
dig.
we're not like recreating the abridged series line for line and trying to pretend like we made it. We're referencing a few of the jokes that came from the series.
That may or may not have come from the series itself.
Oh boy, look at those blank lines of silence.
I know, right?
We're
I
doing.
can tell that the two of you are really, really tired from it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm tired today for some reason. I'm not on my game, but that's fine.
And despite my exhaustion, I'm probably the only one that's awake enough to actually do anything.
I'm wide awake.
And
Phew.
I tend to reference card games a lot.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with referencing card games.
Aside from the fact that we did it for 40 minutes in the last episode.
Yeah, well, we had long discussions about card games.
And then anime itself.
Yeah, and then I mastered the greatest draw technique of all time, but that was not during a recording. I am
The
now.
greatest draw technique of all time.
Yeah, now I can do the dab draw. The greatest drawing technique.
This, sir, is the reason you'll go to hell.
I'm gonna get up there and it's not gonna be any of the terrible things I do in my life. They're gonna be like,
The guy,
they're gonna be like, well, you see, you dabbed while drawing a Yu-Gi-Oh card. You're going straight to hell.
Yeah, the guy that is sitting there reading you the list of sins out of his little book is going to be like, you dabbed while drawing a card. Hell with him.
Yeah, to hell with him.
Oh yeah, because of all the things that Blake has done, like, in reference to, like, Christianity and all that shit, dabbing while drawing a card is the thing that's going to send him to hell.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Alright, fine. I will start a basic religion, and the only thing right now that'll send you to hell is dabbing.
Is dabbing. He's gonna start the Church of Yami.
And let it be written that he who dabs is hell-worthy.
He who dabs while drawing their cards.
No, just dabbing in general.
No, because what about ironically dabbing?
I don't care if they ironically dab.
Even dabbing ironically will send you to hell. I'm surprised dabbing lasted as long as it did. It lasted for like a whole year. Like, even now it still gets somewhat referenced, just not as much. Like, I thought it was going to go in like 2 weeks and it lasted like a year.
I think it should burn.
Because people were like dabbing like right when Pokemon Go first released.
Yeah, gross.
Also, is Pokemon Go even still a thing, or did it, like, die?
I hear that they ended up having some event for, like, releasing the legendary Pokemon, and it sucked.
Oh, wow, so it died?
Well,
That sucks.
I don't know if
I
it
mean-
like, died or not, but I know that the event that they ended up having sucked ass.
Because, like, the thing is,
Like, they didn't have enough...
they implemented it poorly. Like, they had a really good setup and all the stuff was there that they needed, but then they waited forever to, like, release the rest of the Pokemon. They didn't have a battle feature and a bunch of other stuff, which led people to lose interest in it.
Well, I think
after
there
the
should
initial...
have been a battle and trade feature.
Well, yeah, but my point is that
And
it was...
I don't think that they should have, like, immediately released all 800 Pokemon at once. I think
Well,
taking
yeah,
it
but
step
they
by
should
step
have...
is okay,
What I'm saying
but
is...
I think
what
that
I am...
they took 2 years to release all the Pokemon.
Yeah, what
It's-
I'm saying is they didn't do enough to keep people hooked after the initial interest. And then it fell out of interest, obviously, and now, like, people aren't going to do it anymore because it's an old thing. And if they had just implemented it better and added the Pokemon more consistently and had more features, like, probably there'd still be, like, a really huge thing right now. They'd probably even have, like, full, like, events and stuff that they could do. It'd be like a big thing, but they messed it up. They were pretty much handed, like, a golden egg or a golden goose or whatever the fuck that story is, and then they, like, fucking chopped its head off and, like, pissed down its neck hole because they're dumb.
A goose that lays golden eggs.
That's it. Goose that lays golden eggs.
If you're referencing Jack and the Beanstalk.
Am I? I don't even remember. All the fairy tales run together anymore. But they were handed, like just a perfect opportunity and, like, an easy way to, like, do all kinds of cool stuff and probably make a lot of money, and then they managed to, like, totally botch it up. Oh well, what can you do?
Well, I mean, they also had that legendary event where I hear they didn't have any decent internet whatsoever for the players to actually use at all.
Well, that's just sad.
Then there was, like, a rainstorm and they had no area for the players out there to actually sit out of the rain.
Those poor 6 people who probably showed up.
Yeah, those poor thousands of people that showed up.
I was making a joke, but I mean, you can take it literally if you want.
I take everything literally. I mean, we were having an argument the other day about you cleaning off your plates of ketchup, and you said you cleaned all of them off.
I said most. I don't know why you think I said all. I said
Because
most.
you said all.
I said most.
And I had to point out that's not the case.
Whatever, I do most of the cleaning anyways, so who cares?
You clean once a week.
I-
With the exception of
I
this
have-
Will you stop fighting?
I do not only clean once a week. I clean multiple times throughout the week during my week off, and then during my week I clean like once to twice because it's my freaking work week and I'm exhausted. But I do clean a lot. Like, anytime this place is looking spotless, it's usually because I cleaned.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
When you clean once a week on your week off, that's not most of the time. That's like twice in a month.
No, I clean multiple times during my week off. I do. I have been. And I've even been cleaning during my work week lately, so why don't you just
I would
eat
say
it?
that was just this week, though.
No, it was last week too, or last work week. And I've been cleaning during my weeks off consistently for all of time. I keep the house pretty decently cleaned, I would say.
I only ever noticed that you actually clean the place like once on your work week off. Because the place looks like hell half the time.
Oh wow, if only other people would invest some cleaning time, maybe it wouldn't look bad.
Maybe if I wasn't, juggling 3 positions at work and cleaning the shit out of that place too in my time that I have free.
You have days off?
Yeah, 1 day a week. I just spent like the last 9 days working.
Honestly, it would be easy if we'd all just clean up as we go, but for some reason none of us can do that. I have no idea why. It's easy, but none of us ever do it.
I tend to keep the kitchen counter pretty clean.
Yeah, because you want to slap your cards on it, and then I come in there and there's 8,090 cards all over the place when I'm trying to set a plate down.
Well, I mean, you still have like another half the counter you could use.
What did I do with my hair ties?
We threw them all out. He thinks I'm joking.
No. I can't find my hair ties. What did I do with it?
I think they've been thrown out.
No, I should have some somewhere.
Have you checked one of the cabinets or a drawer?
I know I have some around here somewhere. I just gotta figure out what I did with them. Hey, look, I found one.
Hey, look, he found one.
Now I can tie my hair back. Hooray!
Sadly, you can't see because there is no camera. But hey, look.
Woo! My hair is now tied back. I tie my hair back and forth.
I don't think that's how that works.
Nope, it's not. You're quiet. Why don't you say things?
He's not quiet. He doesn't eat sunlight through his skin or breathe or ingest water.
You two seem to be doing a good enough job by yourselves. Also, I'm tired.
Yeah, I know you're
I think
tired.
we're
I'm
all
tired,
tired
too.
though.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't really think I have anything interesting to add to any of the conversations.
I think that's how we all feel though.
Yeah, definitely gotta say this has been the more difficult of the three so far, just because I'm tired and I can't think of interesting things to say.
I mean, you two seem to have enough interest in bashing each other's cleaning habits.
Hey man, that's gonna be a lot of fun to go back through and reassess and release.
I know you two of you were talking about us having some kind of big argument that would end up breaking up the podcast in a year or two.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Happening in episode 3.
Yeah, we're working on it. We've gotten a head start. It's gonna be the great who cleaned the fucking house debate that just spirals out of control until we hate each other. Fuck you! I clean the house.
I mean, I'm not saying we both don't clean the house, but I only ever tend to notice that you actually clean the house once in your off week.
I do one giant cleaning session during my off week, and then I do little cleaning things as I go. The dishes will
tiny little cleaning things.
The dishes will kind of fill up the sink a little bit, not all the way like they do during my week on a lot of the times, but there'll be a decent amount of dishes that'll start to pile up, and I'll do those, and I'll throw some stuff away that's on the counter and stuff during my week off, just little stuff after the big clean. Because I try to keep it relatively clean before I start my actual work week, so that way it's not too terrible whenever I get back to my off week again. Because that would suck.
I would probably try keeping it cleaner than I do if I didn't feel exhausted almost every day I come home.
Oh, I mean, as long as it never looks like your room, I'll be good. Your room is a wreck.
Yeah, I plan on fixing that on the one day I have off.
Yeah. I think yours is mostly just, you need to
I need to find better ways to organize things.
You need to take everything out, sort it all out, fix it up, and I think you just need more storage areas too. You need something to store them in. Maybe you should get a tote or something at Walmart, just so you can set all the stuff that you're not readily using in.
I already ended up having plans on how to sort it up, and it didn't involve totes.
I'm just saying, that was a suggestion.
Because I think totes would take up more room than what I'd need.
Well, I mean, you could just get one big... I was just saying one big tote, and you could set all the stuff that you want out of the way in it, and put it in a corner or something. That was just a suggestion, though. If you already have something in mind, whatever.
Well, I mean...
When are these supposed to...
Aside from the stuff that I end up having out in the middle of the floor, which is normally the stuff I tend to drag into the kitchen normally, everything else is put up within the closet for the most part. So it's more of like...
Yeah, but your closet's a destroyed mess, too.
I need a spot to move all that stuff that's in the floor, off of the floor.
And you need to clean up the closet, too.
And then what I need to do is was planning on getting a bunch of binder stuff to actually clean off the shelves in the closet.
But yeah, like I feel like at this point you just need to take everything out and then like re-put it back in, but organized. Once you have like whatever you need to store it all.
Oh, you have no idea how that I was gonna organize that thing in the future.
But yeah, like your thing is just kind of a mess at the moment. At least the laundry baskets helped a little with the clothes. Those used to be just a disgusting pile on the floor.
I would fold those things up and put them in a suitcase whenever they were clean and just threw the dirty stuff in the floor.
You have hangers, but do you even use them?
Yep.
Do you?
I think I have like maybe 4, maybe 5 empty ones right now.
Oh, nice. I didn't really know if you were using those or not.
Yeah, the week that Zach came and visited, I ended up actually using some of the clothes in the hangers and haven't put any back on those 5.
Nice. I don't know. We need to get like posters and pictures and stuff. Like I feel like as far as like stuff goes, like we've got all the kind of stuff we need for out here. But now we just need like...
It's more of decoration.
Yeah, decoration type stuff. Something for like this empty ass wall and something for over there and something for wherever.
Cause we already got stuff over there. We got the hanging backpack. The
and something to put over there to replace the dartboard because that's only there for the aesthetic. That's literally the only reason it's there.
Ripperoni and pepperoni dartboard.
Yeah, but for now...
I wonder if that... I don't know why I said that, but... Because I guess it's still there. But... your little hole from throwing the dart.
Oh, yeah. I threw the dart, the plastic tip, so hard that it went through the wall.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know... Not to brag about my own strength or anything.
I mean, I thought you would have actually not thrown it as hard as you could at the wall.
How was I supposed to know that the little plastic tip that was designed to prevent stuff like that from happening wouldn't prevent stuff like that from happening?
Well, I mean, haven't we not gone over the fact that these walls are, like, super thin?
Yeah, they are, like, what, drywall?
Well, see, we've gone over, like, this fact that the walls are super thin so many times, but I don't think anyone's ever complained, like, whenever you play Dark Souls or try to use Lightworks or encounter any sort of, like, minor obstacle in your path.
And I yell really loudly.
I think it's kind of a complaint whenever you're in the bathroom shaving and beating the razor on the sink and someone starts to beat on the wall.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, I scream about Dark Souls and nothing happens. He taps a razor in the sink and, like, some dude on the other side of the wall freaks out. Like, what even is that?
I guess just the neighbors on that side are a lot more hostile than the neighbors on this side.
I don't even think we have neighbors on that side anymore. Let's talk about where their car has went.
On this side, you mean?
Yeah.
No, there's that old lady. I don't know who she is, but I've seen her a few times walking around. She lives in that apartment.
I haven't seen their car down there in, like, forever.
And there's somebody, I think there's somebody on this side now, because, like, I hear noises come from there every so often, and I'm pretty sure, like, somebody moved in over there.
Maybe it's a ghost.
The ghost of the apartment next to us.
The ghost of apartment... Nah. God damn it, Mizu!
Well, I know where another rubber ducky noise is coming. This time it's a rubber ducky noise, I guess. It could be a car horn next time, or just Sonic collecting rings. I don't know.
What? I have an issue with accuracy.
Yeah, I've noticed. Like, we get into semantics arguments because you don't know how to, like, take things figuratively.
I can't.
Like, I'll make, like, some expression or say something in, like, kind of a not meant to be taken literal way, and, like, you'll be like, excuse me. And I'll be like, damn it, Mizu. I don't mean literally. You're like the kind of person who, like...
The specifics are important.
You're the kind of person who, like, if I made a turn of phrase, you would stop me and be like, you can't turn a phrase.
I mean, you could if you wrote it down on paper.
Oh, hey, look, it's a ladder. Actually, that's a step ladder. Fuck you, Phoenix!
The specifics are important.
Only sometimes. Only
All the
sometimes it's important to get this exactly right.
All of the time.
Sometimes just being correct enough to be understood is all that matters.
The specifics are always important.
No, not always.
Always.
You're rapidly on your way to becoming a case of not seeing the forest for the trees.
Well, the forest isn't the trees, it's also the mushrooms, the grass, the animals.
Alright, now we just need to cross that forest over there. Where? I can't see it past all these trees.
The fluffy little bunnies, the little foxes.
He's sitting there pointing out every individual tree, leaf, bunny, fox, and everyone else is just like traveling through the forest and getting to the other side. He's like, hold on, I've got to catalog these bunnies.
That's not just a plant, it's a fern. And look at that big tree right there. What a beautiful redwood.
Yeah. Oh god, we went silent. It's the end of the world. Time to eject. Time to abandon ship.
It's the recording apocalypse.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
End of the world. It's here. It's here.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Oh god.
I don't know, it's almost like a Once Weekly podcast might not have been the best idea or something.
No, it is a perfectly fine idea, and there's nothing like super difficult about it. It's just that everyone's tired today.
Fair point.
Literally to record a podcast, all you do is you sit down and talk like you would any other day, and human beings can talk literally every day, so I don't see why there's a difficulty in it. The issue we're having is just everyone's tired.
Pretty much.
And so, it's harder to think of what to talk about.
You try working 9 days and then still have 2 more to go.
I've tried 8/10s, pretty close. I'd say in terms of numbers of hours, and I've worked more, but for you, you're not used to working that many days in a row, so.
I mean, my 2 weeks still come out to 80 hours, so.
Yeah, I do that. I do that in 1 week as 80 hours, so.
With 2 days off to myself.
Woo. Yeah, I've always much preferred working a couple of really long hours and getting a bunch of days off to working a bunch of really short hours but never getting any time off. I feel like it's superior to just work all of it at once and then have a giant bunch of time off.
Yeah, at this point, I think I should have done what Sam ended up doing and been like, I want 3 days off, have me set up the other 4.
Having regular time off is always nice. When are they going to raise your pay or whatever, like you said they were thinking about or whatever?
They have to teach me how to do that first.
They have to teach you how to do it?
They have to teach me how to do it, and they have to have time to teach me how to do it. Which is not something they can easily do when they only have 12 workers and half of them are from other stores.
Well, just wait till the next time that it's so dead that they send you home early and be like, wait, before you send me home, you should show me how to do the thing.
Oh, they're not going to, though, because I have to be off clock so that way they aren't handing out more money than they're making.
Well, I'm saying, whenever you're the next time that it's dead and they send you home, just be like, okay, well then.
To learn that stuff, though, they have to teach me everything about every position. And like I said, I can't stay on clock for them to do that with me.
Well, then do it off the clock. This isn't a complicated process. If you have to be off the clock, then you sign off first.
That requires me to then work, and if I'm not on the clock, I'm not allowed to work.
Let me explain this. You work, you get to the point where they send you home early. If you have to be off the clock, you sign off. Then you're like, okay, now I'm signed off, let's do the thing.
Yeah, they have to make me do it, which means I'm working.
Well, then do it on the clock. Well, then stay on the clock first and have them show you while you're on the clock.
But they want me to get off the clock as soon as possible so that way they're not handing out more money than what they're making.
Then don't do what they ask you to do once you're off the clock. Once you're off the clock, you're like, no, I can't do that.
Then-
I'm off the
No,
clock.
hold on. Let me explain this.
No, what
You
you're
saying-
trying to tell me to do is learn how to do this stuff so I get that pay raise. But I can't do it whenever I'm on the clock because they're so busy. So he's telling me that then get off the clock and have them show me how to do it. But that
you
requires
said.
me to work.
Hold on. Let me explain because now you're getting it wrong. But the way you explained it to me, I thought you were saying that you had to be off the clock to do it. But that's not what you meant. Clearly, you meant
Yeah,
that
I have
you
to
can't.
I have to be on the clock. Why would I
Yeah.
keep talking about being on the clock?
Yeah, but anyways, so then I was like, okay, well in that case, if you can't be off the clock, then do it on the clock. And I don't see if they were going to send you home, say, before you send me home, why don't you show me this stuff so that we can get it out of the way. And even if they say no, like you could at least ask, and eventually they're going to be like, yeah, whatever, because they're going to get annoyed with you constantly asking. I'm just saying doing something is better than doing nothing, because if you just do nothing, you're going to be waiting for 6 months for them to finally get around to it. It's like at Walgreens. Like, if you don't constantly stay on people to do stuff they're supposed to do there, they won't do it. It took them months to teach me how to do anything in photo. I still don't know how to do everything in photo, because if you don't freaking stay on them, they won't bother.
I think that's most people in general, not just like work stuff.
But yeah, my point is, like, the next time they're gonna send you home early, why don't you just try to see if they'll show you the thing first, or at least start to show you the thing, and just be like, hey, instead of sending me home, why don't you show me how to do this and then send me home? So that way, at least you can get it out of the way, and then you can make some good monies, make some really good monies.
Yeah, but I'd have to know what it is they are trying to show me at the time too.
Well, that's what
I'm basically doing, or they're supposed to teach me basically how to do almost everything that the managers themselves can do.
Sweet. Sounds good.
But not everything that a manager can do.
Obviously, but I'm sure they know what they are supposed to be showing you how to do. So just ask them if they'll show you the thing you're supposed to be learning how to do. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask. Well, normally it doesn't hurt to ask. Oh. You seem tired.
Do I?
Yeah. Also, you're barely even in this podcast. You're just kind of somewhat
He's
there
just kind of
sometimes.
there sometimes.
Really? I never noticed.
just like the last one.
He's going to get into his hind now.
Oh boy.
You're too tired to even finish that joke. That's sad.
That is the entire fucking joke.
Shh.
Yeah, I think you're confusing that joke with another joke.
No, I mixed the two jokes together in my brain because I think they work well together, even though they don't actually go together.
Well, I don't.
Well, fine. What are you being so negative for? You're not you when you're hungry. Have a Snickers.
Someone said that at work. Today's a good day.
So did you ever get in touch with your artist person about making the things?
I did. I just need you to get in touch with him.
Yeah, but I don't even have a whatever.
Then make one.
I don't know how to make one.
I will show you how to make one. You just need to ask.
Okay.
Yeah, like you just said, you gotta ask. Get people on that stuff.
Well, I'll get around to it whenever I have some time, but obviously I'm not going to have time right away.
He has to do the sleep soon so he can go to do the work.
Yeah, I know work sucks.
Oh boy.
I hope it caught that full yawning action.
It's contagious. Everyone's gonna start yawning now.
Probably. This is how the world ends. Just a bunch of people yawning. It's very anticlimactic.
Not with a bang, but with a yawn.
Exactly. Exactamundo. What is that from? Like, I feel like that's a word that used to be a thing, like in the 90s or something.
Is the exact Spanish translation of exactly.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's weird. But yeah, I just remember there was like a time, and I feel like it was probably like the 90s or the early 2000s, where Exactamundo was like a thing people said.
I mean, I remember my mom and dad saying it a lot when I was a kid.
I hope it caught all of that drinking action too.
Oh boy.
I have no idea what it'll pick up on though, to be honest.
This is why I don't ever like listen to podcasts.
Why?
Because like it's just people talking.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Like, podcasts are meant to be like played in the background while you do something else.
Well, then I just completely tune out the podcast, and what's the point now?
Well, it's because it's just like something to be listening to like fill the silence while you're working on other stuff or doing something
It's
else.
kind of like you writing a paper or drawing some art.
Well, then in that case, I'll just listen to music.
Yeah, well, some people do. Other people listen to podcasts. I don't know, like, why you hate podcasts so much. Like, I get that you don't like them personally, but, like, you, like, go out of your way to, like, question the very existence of podcasts as well. So, like, if they're not your thing, they're not your thing. Do you, like, hate that we record a podcast, too, or something? Do you, like, have no desire to be part of this?
Well, maybe just a little bit.
Well, at least you're honest. Well, I mean, nobody's making you join in on the podcast. I guess you don't have to sit here and do these.
Yeah, I'll stick around.
Just be part of them until Zach gets here. Zach really wants to be part of them.
If he had a decent mic, we could do like Skype calls and I could figure out how to record them that way, but he doesn't. I want to like get people involved and like do like podcasts with people, but so far nobody's like been particularly interested yet. So we'll see what happens. You should ask your friends and stuff too. See if any of them want to be part of it.
Sure.
They're more than welcome or more than free. We'll figure out how to make it work.
Well, maybe I'll get that artist guy to join.
Cool. Do it.
I think it'd be fun around sometime whenever the channel starts, booming and stuff, where we just start like doing games and stuff with live stream.
Yeah, I want to do live stream gaming, but like right now it would be really boring because
I don't even mean
we
like
wouldn't
video
have-
games either. I mean like board games or something.
oh, that could be fun, but we'd need a camera for that.
Exactly.
I still want to do high intensity Yu-Gi-Oh card battles,
God.
but that's just me.
Oh god, Raul would really be into that.
Oh man, we should also set up at least one Vanguard fight, and I'm going to use all of my editing techniques that I've learned up to the point that starts to make a Generation Stride thing in real life. Like full background, full trippy animation, everything.
He's gonna set up like a green screen somewhere right behind him, and then have like the really cool, flashy Generation Strike thing happen on the green screen.
That'll be fun.
Then he's gonna speak his generic things about the future.
Yeah, we'll get a team of 30 writers to come up with like a vague statement about the future.
I don't even think you need 30 writers for that. I mean, considering the fact that you almost said 190% of the way through,
That's true.
I think you could easily just write that yourself and then just rehearse it.
Something future. I did it.
The sun will rise tomorrow, and tomorrow's the future. Generation Stride.
If you wait a few hours, the sun will rise.
Hilariously enough, that line was actually supposed to be like about Taya needing to pee, and not about her actually freezing.
Blaze forward on this path to the future.
Oh god.
That one's decent. I gotta come up with a better one though. We must fill the void with words and sounds.
I was just gonna say that the silence from Doctor Who was in the room.
I don't know anything about Doctor Who, so that's like way over my head. The only thing I know about Doctor Who is at one point there were dinosaurs in space, and I was not able to take the show seriously from that point forward. Also, that was the first episode of Doctor Who I ever watched.
Oh
It
god.
was dinosaurs in space, and I was like, why do people watch this?
Well, not every episode is dinosaurs in space.
Oh yeah, there's the episode where people grow gas masks on their face, but
Well, it's also gonna say there's a silence, but
I'm just saying, like, it's not uncommon for the show to get kind of stupid.
pepperoni and pepperoni.
But I guess it's I think it's got like one of those like campy sort of vibes about it when it gets goofy like that, and that's why people still like it anyways. I hope nobody's like watching it as like some kind of serious dramatic type show, because from what I've seen was definitely not what kind of show it is. Ugh.
I don't think you could really watch any kind of show and be like, oh, this is serious.
You can learn what?
And unless you're watching like those really weird TLC shows, I guess, that my mom ends up enjoying to watch.
Or you could watch BoJack Horseman.
That's not serious either, though.
Yes, it is. Have you never watched BoJack Horseman? The show is one.
I've watched like one episode with you.
Okay, so the show is like intensely serious when it wants to be intensely serious, and that's a lot. That show definitely has like some really like dramatic, serious moments in it, and I think like if you were to describe what made up the core of the show, it would be the serious stuff, not the goofy comedy. That's like kind of the surface layer.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a cartoon, and cartoons aren't to be taken that seriously.
Well, that's the vice a lot of people fall into.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people do feel that way, which is dumb because cartoons are very capable of handling mature subject matter.
Well, I also don't watch ones that have a lot of mature subject matter.
Yeah, I know. If it doesn't involve somebody with 13 feet of colorful hair drawing cards from a deck, you probably don't watch it, but...
Well, there's also My Hero Academia and Dragon Ball Super. And when are you supposed to take a lot of the shit that happened in those seriously? I mean, oh no, aliens are invading. Go hide in your bunker.
Yeah, but then there's also shows like Full Metal Alchemist and Death Note, which you are supposed to take seriously.
Or Welcome to the NHK.
Yeah. We had a long conversation about the NHK last time. I don't know if you got that far when you were listening
Full Metal
back.
Alchemist and still didn't take it that seriously.
Why would you not take Full Metal? That show is like clearly meant to be taken seriously.
When you start adding like the ideas of immortal superhumans and stuff, I can't take it that seriously.
The show is about a lot of the stuff that it's talking about is like the dangers of pushing things too far and like extremism and in its different forms, and like the stuff with like all that is about like taking science too far and doing things like human experimentation and stuff.
Oh, so you mean that one thing I don't do?
A cautionary tale sort of vibe, I guess. Especially like their story. Their story is about like playing God and like them being punished for attempting to play God.
So that stuff I can't do.
Yeah.
No wonder it went right over my head.
But yeah, like, and then like in Death Note's case, it's about the game between L and Light and other character who nobody likes, and Light after Light cheats.
After Light cheats.
He does cheat. I mean, it gets him his results, I guess. So it's like, what does Plankton say at the end of the SpongeBob movie when SpongeBob's like, "You cheated"? What is it?
Something like,
oh god.
Oh my god! I'm gonna have to insert this now whenever we remember
we'll
it.
never know.
So something along the lines of, of course I cheated, but I won, and that's all that matters, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what he says, but he like berates. I remember he berates him like for being a kid because like it's such a childish thing to even say in the first place.
SpongeBob, what happened?
Plankton cheated.
Cheated? Hold on there, Baldy. Oh, grow up. What, you think this is a game of kickball on the playground? You never had a chance to defeat me, fool! And you know why?
Because you cheated?
Light really does cheat in that series, but anyways, like for that series, it's about the game between them more than anything else, and you're supposed to take it seriously. It's like a cat and mouse mind game sort of thing. Oh man, I didn't realize that you like don't take cartoons seriously as an adult media.
Nope.
Wow, I'm disappointed in you a little bit.
The moment, like, way back when in elementary school, when I was told that cartoons weren't exactly a real thing themselves.
Yeah, but neither are the characters in any work of fiction, so I don't see what the difference is.
Yeah, I
They're
don't
meant
take
to-
works of fiction themselves either.
I don't take real life seriously either.
Exactly.
Screw that Stalin guy, whatever. Maybe he was real, but I don't take it seriously. It's for kids. Ah.
But now here's a question: if like I were to have you watch Kill Bill, would that mean that you wouldn't take 1/10 of the movie seriously?
Well, I mean, I've already watched it, so.
So like you take the entire movie seriously, except for that 1/10 that's in anime.
I thought the entire thing itself was supposed to seem very anime-ish.
Not really. It's like an action film, I think, isn't it?
Like the entire movie, like except for like the opening like 10 minutes or so.
I mean, like, she ends up being in a hospital, she gets herself out of the hospital, and then goes straight to Japan.
Yep, like everything like before the anime like backstory exposition of Oren Ishii, like everything before that is just like various different things and stuff. But like from the moment like we learn about Oren Ishii to the end of the movie, like it's entirely one giant homage to like every single like film style of Japan.
Nice.
Hence why like there's a sudden anime segment and like a sudden segment where everything goes black and white, and there's like all sorts of different samurai tropes and stuff thrown out.
Yeah, I didn't actually like Kill Bill all that much myself. Like, I know a lot of people really like it, but I did not care for Kill Bill. It was not my cup of tea.
Like honestly, like for me, like what the main appeal of Kill Bill is from a film student perspective, where like it's one giant homage to like various different film styles from around the world.
Isn't that who does Kill Bill? Is that a Quentin Tarantino film, or is
That is Tarantino.
That's what I thought. Is there like a weird foot fetish scene in that one, or is that like one of his
there's-
rare exceptions?
There's just like one scene where like
I remember there's the scene towards the beginning where she's like trying to wiggle her toe, but I didn't think that really counted.
Beyond that, there's nothing.
Yeah, that doesn't really count. That's weird. I can't believe he managed to get through a movie without like having a weird foot fetish like scene in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I didn't think he could.
I think at this point he was just too busy like geeking out over various film styles and stuff.
Maybe. He probably did make a foot fetish scene, but like he couldn't fit it in, and he had to cut it out like to like make the film like reasonably length. And he was like, "Oh damn it!" I just think it's fun to make fun of his weird like feet scenes because there's so many of them. Oh
you
god.
say that, but then again, like how much actually are there? Like there's that scene from Pulp Fiction where he gets Uma Thurman to dance barefoot. There's Wiggle Your Big Toe from Kill Bill. There's that weird ass scene from Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, that's the one I was gonna.
But beyond that, like what is there?
There's, I'm sure you could probably look it up or something. See,
Maybe.
but it's not important. I'm gonna go get my phone actually and find out how many times like that actually happens in his movies. I feel like it's pretty frequently. It was enough to become like a joke. Like, we didn't invent the foot fetish joke. Like, that's literally just been a joke about him forever. We went quiet again.
But yeah,
As
when I
long
was
as there's-
watching Death Note and stuff, I was playing video games at the exact same time, so I never paid attention to the cat and mouse game point of that anime series. And as far as I was concerned, Full Metal Alchemist was very Naruto-ish.
It's not really, like, that's missing the overall point, I would say. Like, that was only, like, surface level stuff for it, maybe. These are the most... Okay, let's see. Let's try this one first. Sorry, I'm looking this up, so it's taking me a minute here.
Oh god.
There's the Dusk Till Dawn scene, obviously. In a movie called Jackie Brown, there's foot flirting, apparently.
Foot flirting.
Jackie Brown.
In Death Proof, there is foot licking. In Pulp Fiction, there's Maya's feet.
Oh god.
In Glorious Bastards, there's a scene called Londa's Cinderella. Let's see.
I guess it's probably worth mentioning that like I guess like at this point.
There's more in Pulp Fiction. There's a whole nother foot scene in there.
Well, there is that one like point at the very beginning where like they're trying to talk about like how Marcellus Wallace like threw this one guy out a window because he was massaging Mia Wallace's feet.
There is one in Kill Bill. It's called No-Eyed L. Apparently he takes the time to film her stepping on that girl's eyeball after she like tears her eye out and then she throws it on the ground and steps on it. 4 Rooms, Angela's Feet.
Wow, I have like not seen any. I realize now like I have not seen any Quentin Tarantino films. Like, I've seen Pulp Fiction, I've seen Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill Volume 1, and that's it.
So according to this list, there's at least 13 different foot fetish scenes in his movies.
And From Dusk Till Dawn.
But like 3 of them came from Pulp Fiction, and like 3 of them came from Kill Bill, and like 3 of them came from Dusk Till Dawn. But apparently, he does actually do a lot of like weird feet scenes. So like there is a reason that became a joke. I was gonna say I remembered him doing that. I feel like there was one scene that like literally he's just filming somebody's feet for a while, and I don't remember what movie that is.
Well, are we done being awkward and cringy as fuck?
No.
How are we being cringy as fuck?
I just, kind of feel like we shouldn't be spending the entire fucking like podcast talking about fetishes.
We're talking about Quentin Tarantino's
I thought we were
weird
talking
feet
about
scenes.
that for like 10 minutes.
And it was only like 10 minutes.
How is that not talking about fetishes?
Because we're not sitting here talking about the stuff we jerk off to. We're sitting here making fun of Quentin Tarantino's weird feet scenes in movies.
We're sitting here talking about like the constant time that Quentin Tarantino like abates his fetish.
Okay.
We were just listing it, I thought.
How is that not talking about fetishes?
Because we're not talking about the actual fetish itself. We're talking about the times that he put it into movies. It'd be one thing if we were talking about, like, we were like, oh my god, feet, so hot. But that's not what we're doing. We're just talking about somebody else who's doing that and that they put it in their movies, and it's kind of funny.
And you get angry when Mizu does that shit.
Does what shit?
Wait, does what?
Because we had a semantics argument.
Oh god.
Hey, it's only human nature to be at least somewhat hypocritical. I can tell you're like in a bad mood because you're tired. You're being really grouchy with me now. Oh well, it'll be funnier in post whenever we're listening back to this.
It is the second fight in episode 3 of...
See, we're already
the
working...
breakup is beginning.
Yeah, we're already working on it so that whenever we reach... What episode was it?
I don't know. I thought we were going to wait for like a year or 2.
Yeah,
I
I thought...
like gave an actual episode.
Oh, well, whenever we get to that point in time, like, we're going to be ready.
I was thinking weekly podcast because that one was brought up like forever ago and was like, a year sounds like 52 episodes, so episode 53.
We're at, what,
You do realize that we also now have
minutes?
to like completely delete this segment so that like we can keep that an entire surprise for the audience.
What an entire surprise for the
No,
audience.
I think we leave it there, just like the first 10 minutes, and just continue to reference this from now on.
Hey, actually, we haven't referenced the first 10 minutes, have we?
Not since like episode 1.
No, we did once in the second
in episode 2, because you had to bleep it out.
I think we just
I started
cut
to actually talk about it.
Yeah, I think we actually just cut that entire little section out.
Oh, well, rip.
But I feel like we did still actually say the first 10 minutes at one point in the second one.
we referenced it.
Well, either way,
But
we're
then I
referencing
started
it
to talk
now.
about it, so you were supposed to like take a line out.
Yeah, I did cut out the part where you actually said what happened.
10 out of 10 would reference the end. And
But
then
what
speak
part
all
was
about
he
it.
saying that we needed to cut out? I must have zoned out because I didn't actually hear what you were talking about.
The fact that I was talking about us breaking up in about a year.
Oh, yeah, but we talked about that in the first episode, didn't we?
I don't even remember.
I feel like we did very early on or something. Unless that happened in the first 10 minutes.
Nope.
So I feel like it happened much later in the podcast.
Nope. It was not the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, then we don't have to worry about it. As long as it didn't happen in the first 10 minutes. Where are we at as far as this goes? 119-ish?
Yay, 11 more minutes.
Well, I mean,
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
119 is close enough if you guys wanted to wrap this up.
I think it is up to you.
'Cause
As far as I'm
he's-
concerned,
you
I
already know how I
can keep it
feel.
going.
He's grouchy and tired. I'm just tired, and you're probably also tired, but just not grouchy about it.
I've been awake for, 9 hours now?
Hmm.
So my being tired is more of just from exhaustion from doing 9 days of work.
Yeah. I'm going to have to cut out a pretty fair bit on this one, actually, because there was a lot of silence points, but
Probably
think-
from all the exhaustion.
yeah, we had a lot of pauses, but I don't think it'll be too bad, because I don't think there's been enough pauses to cut out a full 20 minutes.
Oh no.
But even if there is, I'm going to insert video clips randomly here and there.
Oh god.
Like, I have to insert Plankton saying the whatever he says.
You know what I just remembered?
Um,
You brought up Buddy Fight and we never even talked about it.
no, we didn't. Because he was too tired to talk about it. I wanted you guys...
No, we didn't talk about it because then you and Mizu got hung up talking about how many Yu-Gi-Oh clones there are.
Oh, maybe I just got sidetracked and it was my fault. That could easily be the case.
Yeah, we started talking about Kaiba.
Oh, yeah. See what I mean? Kaiba just hijacks the plot of everything because he's so cool.
I don't think he is cool. I see him as a rat.
You say that, and yet you don't realize that Kaiba is currently hijacking the plot of our current conversation as we speak.
And that's what he does. He's Kaiba.
I'm not saying that he's can't hijack things. I'm just saying I don't think he's cool to be like, oh, Kaiba.
I think he's awesome. He's like this.
You're the best Yu-Gi-Oh of all of the card games.
He is the best Yu-Gi-Oh of the card games.
No,
There's not a character better than Kaiba.
Jack Atlas.
No.
Yes.
I've seen that series, and I've seen episodes with Jack Atlas, and Kaiba's way cooler.
Nope.
Yep.
How many people do you know of drink Blue Eyes White Dragon coffee?
What is Blue Eyes White Dragon coffee?
It is actually a coffee that Jack Atlas drinks.
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
I see this as being better than Seto Kaiba.
You know, now
Despite the fact that he's a Seto Kaiba clone.
Now there actually needs to be Kaiba Corp brand like
Blue Eyes White Dragon coffee.
so that I can.
So that you can die of coughing?
So you can drink the coffee.
Yes.
I don't even know if that's like a reference in the original 5Ds either. I just know that's like a thing that shows up in the English stuff.
Sweet. Nothing like Blue Eyes coffee.
Blue Eyes coffee.
Blue Eyes White coffee. Alright, well, I think that's good enough to end it on. We've got enough footage, as long as
We
it's
never
at least
talked
an
about Future Card Buddy Fight.
Oh my goodness.
We're never gonna
The
get
case
to it.
of the podcast that we can never end because we keep forgetting to talk about Future Card Buddy
The
Fight.
case of the forgotten topic.
Okay, so Card Buddy Future Fight. Go.
Why? Why?
I didn't watch
Actually,
it,
there's
so
not really a whole lot to talk about it. Like, well,
Rawl's
It's
favorite character is Tetsuya.
no. Fuck no. My favorite character is the gay monster thing.
Oh, Kinos Axia, everyone's favorite character.
the
Yes.
gay monster thing.
Yes.
It is a okay, so the game, so like the whole thing has like these like monsters from alternate universes called buddies.
That
like,
are
pair
actually
up-
like living on the planet Earth.
Yeah, they pair up with humans who open up card packs that have their like special cards on them and like follow them around. And there's this one thing called Chemo Sax guy who
Draco Wizard Kinos Axia.
who like
His name
has
is Chemo Sax Guy.
No, it's technically Kino Saxia, but I always call him Chemo Sax guy. But like it, so like he shows up, he like jumps on one of like the main buddies, and he's like, I want to be your buddy, and then he's like, but I'm already a buddy. You can't be buddies with me because I'm a buddy.
We're both monsters. We can't be buddies. As of which Kinos Axia then replies, "Oh, what? Who cares? There's nothing I like more than breaking the rules."
Yes, so he's gay.
Nice.
He's basically a gay character in like a kids show, but
You know, hilariously, they're both males, and he's constantly jumping on like the main character's buddy monster and constantly blushing and hugging him. And I swear, you could ship the two.
I'm sure it's been done.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to find some images now.
I'm pretty sure you could.
I'm
But
sure
yeah.
there is.
I
Like,
mean, I've
just
found
so
like
you
a
know-
few. I found a few tame images of like the two hugging and cuddling and whatnot.
Just so you know, because you're calling him Chemo Sax Guy, there's like a 98% chance I'm going to get the one guy from My Hero Academia whenever he looks like a cancer patient and Photoshop a sax into his hand, and that's going to be the image for that
God.
character from now on.
Oh god.
So,
I was thinking Epic Sax Guy, but like without the hair.
Oh god.
Or Epic Sax Guy with Walter White's head.
Chemo Sax Guy.
But yes. But yeah, overall, I'd say for the show, like as Mizu's told me before, like the show is very oriented for kids. See, if I were to do like a parody card game show, I would just make Future Card Buddy Fight. It honestly feels like a parody of those card game shows.
I'm waiting for the inevitable time when somebody decides to Evangelion the card fight series and do like a totally meta series on it.
Oh yeah,
Oh, God.
where the final showdown is against a guy who starts a duel, but then halfway through the duel just pulls out a gun and is like, okay, now we're doing things my way.
You know, I was imagining whenever he was talking about making it super meta was having like the bad guy be like, "I'm going to crush you in this card game." Draws his 5 cards. Shit, I can't do anything with these 5 cards.
Yeah. Damn it, Mulligan.
And then he's like taken out in the second turn.
I guess like the only other noteworthy thing about Future Card Buddy Fight is just how distracting it is when like it constantly keeps replacing like the buddy characters with 3D models of the buddy characters. Like overall, it's in like a 2D art style, but like during fights, like half the characters are like changed out for 3D models of themselves. And like occasionally there'll also be like an object that is a 3D model instead of like a 2D drawing.
That's weird.
And that is so fucking distracting.
I would imagine that sounds really weird.
You know, I didn't even pay attention to it half the time. I knew it was a thing, I just never paid attention to it half the time.
Alright. Are we ready to call this Dunzos then?
Now that
Well,
we finally talked about Future Card Buddy Fight, yes.
I guess
Alright.
so.
Well, this has been the third Fur Talk podcast. I am Blake Foxx. I guess
I'm Ralleign Siston.
And I'm Mizu Kurai.
nailed it.
Ripperoni and pepperoni.